I think every rep I get in general is valuable. We definitely taking things up a notch, I would say, with everything. So every rep, anytime I step on the field, I take it, like it could be my last, because you don't know. It's players that we was just practicing with last week that's not here no more. So like I said, it's more about a bond. It's more about going all out. It's more about, how you'll be remembered. I would definitely say mentally, even regardless if people, if media, have good ways or bad ways to come about me, I'm more mature in not making those same mistakes I made, in college or whatever I did. So, I treat everybody with respect and with care, and whenever everybody gets over, their own.
Shedeur Sanders isn't just winning, he's taking over Cleveland. You could feel it in the air. The final open practice at Browns training camp wasn't just another routine day in Berea. No, this one hit different. Shedeur Sanders, Deion's son, the polarizing rookie QB who's been under more scrutiny than most rookies ever face, finally spoke. And when he did, he didn't hold back. This wasn't just a player talking reps and game plans. This was a young man laying it all out. Family battles, mental growth, pressure, purpose. Shedeur didn't just step to the mic, he stepped into the fire. And you know what? He didn't flinch. "I treat every rep like it could be my last," Shedeur said. "You don't know what tomorrow brings. Some guys we were practicing with last week, they're already gone." Let that sink in. Camp bodies come and go, but Shedeur? He's fighting for something deeper. Not just a spot on the roster. Not even just a starting job. He's fighting to prove he belongs. Not because of his name, but in spite of it. But what happened next? Nobody saw it coming, not even the critics. In one of the rawest moments we've seen all camp, Shedeur opened up about his father, Dylan Sanders, battling bladder cancer. And why that very personal family fight became the reason Prime has stayed away from training camp. "I don't want him coming to see me right now," Shedeur said. "I want him to see me when I've made it, when I've earned it. I don't want him being just a proud dad in the stands while I'm still getting a couple reps." That's the weight of legacy. That's the burden of being a Sanders. And Shedeur? He's carrying it with grace and grit. But here's the part that stunned even the veterans. Stay with me. He's not asking for sympathy. He's not even asking for spotlight. He's asking for silence, so he can work, so he can grow, so he can, in his words, be remembered the right way. Meanwhile, the Browns' quarterback room is getting complicated. Rookie Dylan Gabriel is battling a hamstring injury. Kenny Pickett? Same deal. That's two QBs with limited reps, leaving more spotlight and more pressure on Shedeur and the veteran Joe Flacco. Oh, and Flacco? Yeah, he's still got it. In Monday's late-game situational drills, Flacco was ice cold. Precise. He marched the Browns down the field like it was January, setting up easy field goals and looking like a man who's been there before. But Shedeur? He had his flashes too. A couple beautiful throws. A couple rookie mistakes, like holding onto the ball too long and getting virtually sacked. But that's the grind. That's camp. And that's what makes this QB race so fascinating. What do you think, Browns fans? Should Shedeur be the one getting more reps with Gabriel and Pickett out? Or is Flacco the safe bet heading into preseason? Because here's the thing. This isn't just about talent. It's about identity. It's about which quarterback fits the future the Browns are building right now. And just when you think you've figured Shedeur out, he changes the whole game. He's not running from the noise. He's running through it. "I've always faced adversity," Shedeur said. "Each level, it's always been something. But I understand what game this is now. Nobody can make me feel less than." That's confidence. That's maturity. And most of all, that's a warning to every single person writing him off. Now, head coach Kevin Stefanski? He's playing his cards close to the chest. He didn't give up much about the reps against Carolina on Wednesday, or who's suiting up Friday for the preseason opener. But what he did say, it spoke volumes. "We're going to hold some guys out," Stefanski said. "But we're looking forward to going down there and getting great work against the Panthers." And that's the chess game we're watching play out in real time. The Browns are doing joint practices before their first preseason game for the first time ever. And while fans may be locked out of camp now, the real competition is just getting started behind closed doors. This is where Cleveland made the move that rewrote the entire season. Because every rep that's taken in Carolina, every throw, every mistake, every flash of brilliance, might determine who holds the clipboard and who commands the huddle come September. And Shedeur? He knows that. I lack experience at this level, he admitted. But in pressure situations, you know who I am. That's not bravado. That's belief. That's a quarterback who understands the moment and refuses to shrink from it. Quick question. Do you think Stefanski is doing the right thing by not revealing who plays Friday? Or is it time to let Shedeur show what he can do under the lights? Because let's be honest, the Browns need to know. And fast.
Does that make it hard for you to trust people?
Nah, I feel like trust is a deep thing, but it's different levels of trust, you know. Overall, it's a lot of people that you'll trust driving your car, but it's a lot of people that you wouldn't trust taking your kids somewhere, you know, or dropping your wife off at home. So it's different levels of trust overall. So they don't make me hard because I start out neutral. You know, I start out with neutral. It's a couple familiar faces I see out here, but others not so much. But I don't have a problem with anybody, so I live life free. But then, you know, whenever it's negative, then it's like, all right, you done caused this now. But nah, I stay neutral with everything. I don't really treat everybody with utmost respect. You haven't heard anything negative about my character.
Now here's where it gets real. Reporters asked Shedeur if all this pressure, all this fame, all this scrutiny makes it hard to trust people. His answer? Classic Sanders. There's levels to trust, he said. You'll trust someone with your car, but not with your kids. I start out neutral. I treat everybody with respect until they show me otherwise. And in that one line, he showed us the man behind the jersey. This ain't just about football. This is about how you carry yourself when the world wants you to fail. Let this next moment sink in, because it might just define the future of the Browns and Shedeur Sanders himself. I'm thankful for who I am. I'm thankful for who my dad is. I'm thankful for my family. And nobody can make me feel bad about the blessings I do have. That's not cocky. That's grounded. That's a kid who's been through the fire and came out forged in steel. Meanwhile, Kevin Stefanski continues to stress process over results. This game is about results, he admitted. But you do yourself a disservice if you're not hyper-focused on the process. Translation? Stefanski isn't ready to crown anyone just yet. Not Shedeur. Not Gabriel. Not even Flacco. But he is watching. Every meeting. Every walkthrough. Every 7-on-7 rep. And what he sees from Shedeur. It matters. So let me ask you this. Is Stefanski being too cautious? Or is this the smart move, watching these rookies grow before throwing them into the fire? Because come Friday night, when the lights hit and the cameras roll, we're going to find out who's ready. And who's just talking. Kevin Stefanski might not be showing his hand, but make no mistake, there's a full-blown quarterback chess match unfolding in Berea. And the next big test? Carolina. The Browns are packing up and heading down south for joint practices with the Panthers, something they've never done before this early in the preseason. And that's not just scheduling. That's strategy. We like the scheme they run on both sides of the ball, Stefanski said. It's going to be good for our team. Translation: this is where we find out who's really ready to take command of this offense. But champions aren't made in comfort. What Shedeur did next proved exactly that. Because while other rookies might use this moment to play it safe, to hide behind the playbook or shrink under pressure, Shedeur? He's leaning into it. Every day I prepare like it's my moment, he said. So when it is my time, I'll be ready to be myself. And you know what? That's all Cleveland wants. Not some polished robot. Not some name on a jersey. They want someone who can be themselves when the pressure mounts. When the lights hit. When the city is watching. Browns fans, what do you want to see from Shedeur in Carolina? Is it poise under pressure? Or do you need to see him sling that ball with no fear? Because trust me, this joint practice is going to reveal a lot. Now let's talk Joe Flacco. Yeah, he's the elder statesman. The vet. The guy who's already done it all. And he's not here to steal headlines, but he is still out here schooling young guys on what it means to run an offense. In Monday's late-game simulation, Flacco was calm, composed, and effective, moving the team into field goal range like he was back in a Ravens uniform circa 2012. No panic. No wasted movement. Just execution. But here's the twist. Right behind him, Shedeur was doing the same drill. And while he flashed brilliance, he also flashed what every rookie does: hesitation. A couple of clean throws. A couple moments where he held the ball too long and got virtually sacked. This is where reality meets hype. This is the moment that separates highlights from headsets. But don't get it twisted, Shedeur isn't rattled. "I know I lack experience at this level," he said, "but I also know who I am." And that quote? That should be stamped on the walls of Berea. Because when everything around you is moving fast, when the NFL media machine is dissecting your every step, you better know who you are. You're about to hear the moment that had fans, players, even rivals, on their feet. Remember when Shedeur was asked about fans judging him before he even took a preseason snap? His answer? "I treat everybody with respect. Once people get over their own hate toward me, we'll be good. But I've grown. I don't make the same mistakes I made in college. I've matured." That's a 22-year-old talking like a 32-year-old. And it shows. Let me ask you, audience, do you think Shedeur's maturity gives him an edge in this QB race? Or does experience like Flacco's still matter more? Because here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. This Browns QB competition isn't just about who's best today. It's about who can lead tomorrow. And while Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett are currently sidelined with hamstring injuries, the door just cracked open wider for Shedeur to get even more reps in Carolina. You don't have to be a coach to see it. Reps mean visibility. Visibility means trust. Trust leads to real minutes. And once that happens, anything can. Let this next moment sink in, because it could be the play that defines the rest of camp. The Browns are heading to Carolina, not just for reps, but for answers. And the quarterback who thrives in those unpredictable, pressure-packed sessions might just steal the job. Meanwhile, Kevin Stefanski keeps hammering his message: focus on the process. He told reporters, "If you're not hyper-focused on your process, you're doing yourself a disservice." And that may be the biggest clue yet. Because while the public looks at stats and touchdowns, the Browns coaching staff, they're watching footwork, film study, adjustments. That's the process Stefanski's banking on to shape the future of this team. So here's the question of the day. Is Shedeur's process enough to put him ahead of guys like Gabriel and Pickett, even if they come back healthy before week 1? Because timing is everything in the NFL. And right now, timing is working in Shedeur's favor. But even as Stefanski eyes Carolina, he's not ruling anything out. "There's value in every rep," he said, "whether it's in the meeting room or under the lights." So yes, Friday's preseason game against the Panthers is going to matter. A lot. But don't forget this, the real battle is happening right now. In private, in drills, in moments the cameras don't always catch. And if Shedeur can show consistency in Carolina, if he keeps stacking good days on top of each other, this might not just be a developmental year for Deion Sanders' son. This might be the beginning of something. And here's a little moment from camp that most people missed, but says everything. Hall of Famer Joe Thomas was in the building on Monday. And what was he doing? Working with the offensive line, teaching the fundamentals, talking technique, sharing the wisdom that helped make him one of the best to ever wear brown and orange. That's the kind of legacy that's being built quietly at this camp. That's the culture Stefanski is fighting to maintain while juggling young stars, veterans, and injuries. This isn't just about who wins QB1. This is about creating a Cleveland Browns team that can win long-term. Browns Nation, do you believe this new generation, led by voices like Shedeur, can carry the franchise into a new era? Or is it still too early to believe? Because this camp, this week in Carolina, it's not just a warm-up. It's a test of leadership, a test of grit, a test of identity. And Shedeur Sanders? He's not asking for the answers. He's ready to earn them. You've been watching NFL Daily Dose, your home for the hottest takes, the rawest stories, and the truth behind every snap, every press conference, and every training camp bombshell. If you felt that drama, if you're riding with Shedeur Sanders or you're just living for the Browns' chaos, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss a dose of NFL fire. We'll be right back here next time with more updates from Carolina, more controversy, and more jaw-dropping moments that'll leave you speechless. Until then, keep watching, keep questioning, and keep believing. This is NFL Daily Dose.